Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG, otherwise known as a VP La Pew Pew by us, but known as a leFhy or a leaf blower by other people. If you're wondering why there's no sound, unfortunately that's because Wargaming have mucked up the replay clients, which means that we don't get sound or we don't get tracks. We either get one or the other, and so it does kind of hinder the enjoyment of the game, but it's we're still able to do the replay. It's just we can't see or hear the engine, or we can't see the tracks moving. So we elect to have the tracks moving because, of course, we're Arty players and we don't move about that much. We can actually hear some of the enemy tanks moving about. You can see that KV-1 in the distance, rounds out, direct hit, good shot. Well, that's a nice shot to start with. And in fact, because the player, they didn't mention him actually to start this game, but the player is actually a new player to What Arty Noobs. His name is legionary2099, actually, or 2099 rather, and he's new to What Arty Noobs, so he sent us in this replay, and we're having a look at it for the first time. We're looking at the enemy KV-2, just the other side of the center line. But this Tiger 131 is much more interesting because he's going up and down, almost straight up and straight down. You can see that Legionary is moving about his aim quite a lot, which is making it very difficult for me to keep up with him. That's better. He's trying to get the T-37 on the move, fires around in, close, but didn't get it. He's gone back to the center line. He's actually found a T-34, is that a T-34-85? Yes, it is. And he's dialing in, rounds out, looks good. Direct hit, 137, that was a good shot. Tiger 131 hasn't appeared, but there is the KV-2 now, and he's actually appeared where the 131 was. He gets another hit on the T-34. Now, just the other side of the center line, the railway line rather, just up here somewhere is the KV-2 and the Tiger 131, and they're moving backwards and forwards. I think they're trying to get into a position so they can shoot up at the hill. So if we get any spot from there, that will help us. But he fired around prematurely, and now he's going up to try and kill this Covenanter who's down below the hill, and he fires around in, but unfortunately the Covenanter's already gone. Yeah, I think actually if I was to give any advice to Legionary 2099, I would say don't try to move about so quickly. Try and select a target and then fix with that target. If you try to do too much, you might miss out on doing anything at all. Rounds out the Tiger 131. Yes, that hits the front of the vehicle. In fact, it hit the machine gun port. And that's a weak spot. Now he's going for the KV-2. And one into the side. Nice. 46. We lose sight of them, but whoever was spotting them, find them again for us, because we want to get the... if you want to get the damage assist, you're going to have to find them for us. Okay, we've got a Jackson over here. You've got a bit of reticule bloom there. That will actually throw the shell off a little. If you get reticule bloom like that and it sticks, that's because you're right at the edge of the field of fire. Okay, we've got the 131 back again. He fires blind, gets a direct hit. Okay, now steady yourself. Don't quickly move from one spot to the other, because that will actually throw off your aim. You've got an arc of 15 degrees either side of the center line. He fires around in, gets a direct hit. If you go outside the arc, then you have to dial in all over again. You track the guy, puts another one in. Yep, keep doing this. This is fine. And another direct hit. Now, the question is he still there? Rounds out. Oh, he's moved. Okay, so he did move. But now we've spotted that T-34-85M in the village, and just the other side of the center line is the KV-2. Rounds out. Direct hit. Right, now do to him what you did to the Tiger 131. Just keep piling those rounds in on him, and you'll keep him tracked, and our teammates will be able to get some shots as well. He did get some damage assist there. Need a little bit of lead. Yep, got it. Didn't get a huge hit there, but the KV-2 is definitely trying to avoid being hit. Rounds out. Landed directly behind him and tracked him. Go for it again. He's still there. He's used his repair kit. Rounds out. Direct hit. Now keep punching those rounds in. And he'll probably still be there when the next round goes in. Well, you see what he did there is he looked away after he fired, and therefore he didn't see if he actually had tracked that KV-2, and I think he had. And the Fireflies died, but I think that KV-2 is still there, and now he's missing out on the hit points. All because he looked away after he shot. You shouldn't look away after you shoot. It not only spoils it for the viewer, but it also means you miss vital information. So kill this KV-2 now. Rounds up. Yep, gets him. Okay. AMX CLC spotted, but of course he's going to be very unpredictable. They're quite fast and very difficult to nail. He's looking for the enemy Arty now, right at the back next to the railway line. He hasn't got a whole lot of ammunition left. He needs to watch that. He's only got 21 rounds and 15 of those are heat. So he can't afford to blow blind rounds now. He needs to see genuine targets. Again, I'd say he's got too much premium ammunition, and maybe he ought to be firing the premium ammo at things like this Tiger 131. Instead, he's blowing away his heat ammunition at the Tiger when the heat ammo would do the best. The heat ammo would go straight through him. He hit the front plate there. Now, fire the heat rounds and you'll go right through him. Okay, he's going to run out of HE very shortly, and then he'll find out that he's got his heat rounds, but now he has to get direct hits in order to do damage. And he's suddenly selected his heat rounds, but now he can't see the target. And he can't afford to fire these rounds because they are expensive. And I wouldn't advise going forward, although he's got a 390 meter view range. If you do get spotted by the enemy, it will be toast for you because they will take you out. And in fact, actually going closer actually causes a problem, but you can't loop the shells over the ridgeline. He's dialed in. Now you see he's got a bit of a problem there, but he does get a direct hit. He needs to be further back, not closer to the enemy, further back from the enemy. Okay, fired blind there on a T-34, and he's wasted a heat round. He's now down to 14 rounds of ammunition. He was very low, mainly because he was jittery all over the battlefield, trying to shoot everything. He does get a penetrating shot on the T-34, and he's collected 300 hit points, which is a nice amount. It's a low roll, but he's still getting too close to the center line. And that's starting to cause problems, because if he gets spotted by that T-34, he could be in the receiving end of Arty fire from the enemy Arty, which is an M41 HMC. There's the Tiger. Yep, got a kill shot. You see, straight away, the heat round went straight through the Tiger, and he got a kill. If he fired that heat earlier, when he was actually stationary or near stationary, he would have got a kill shot on that Tiger 131 with just one round, instead of wasting all that HE ammo. And there you see he stopped aiming at the 88, and now our teammates are taking huge amounts of damage from that 88, who's still alive, and now potentially he might get spotted by this death toaster. Oh, he does get a kill shot on him though, but he has been spotted, and it was the T-34 who saw him. And now he has to keep moving, otherwise he is going to be in grave danger from the enemy Arty. In fact, he'll be in grave danger from that T-34, but luckily the T-34 has been wiped out. And there's the enemy Arty, just proving me right. I haven't seen this replay before, so I certainly can work out what's going on. And we're one down on the enemy. And he's running desperately short on ammo. Now he's got only heat rounds left. And he's too close to some of these enemy. He shouldn't be so close to them. Okay, KV-1. Let it settle. Let it dial in. Settle. Rounds out. Now keep your view on the target. Keep your view on the target. He's now got an enemy behind him. I didn't expect that. It's the AMX CLC, and he's come up behind him. And now, of course, if he'd stayed down there, the moment the AMX CLC came over the center line, we would have seen him and would be able to deal with him at close range. But now the AMX CLC is creeping up on him, and he knows where we are. And now the enemy Arty will come into play again. There's the rumble. Yep, and there's the hit. And I told you, I haven't seen this replay before. He's going for a manually aimed. He does take the guy out. That's a good shot. But he needs to move. Because that enemy RT is still in play. It's only 3 now versus 4. Okay, go for the 88 rather than the KV1. It's settling in on that. Go for the 88. That's it. Right now. He fires one in. Misses. That was a clean miss because the guy moved away. He's still too close. And now it's the enemy Matilda, I think you can see him. Or it's a Wolverine, sorry. And that's the end of his game. Again, he wasn't in cover and he was too close to the center line, which gave the Wolverine a good chance of getting him. So it's only the Matilda Black Prince left in the game. Over there. Legionary2099 hasn't swapped view to the Matilda yet. Hopefully he will. When you do die in battle, it usually helps if you actually switch over to your next teammate so we can see the continuance of the battle. But I think that Matilda Black Prince is going to die. And there you go. It is a loss. Decent amount of damage though for a Fifi. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Legionary2099 in the 105 leFH18B2. It was a loss, unfortunately, but it was a tier 6 game, and he did collect quite a bit of damage on the enemy. He got a Gauss medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 9. He got a Fighter badge for taking out at least 4 enemy vehicles, he got 4 exactly. And he did get a high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, but unfortunately, right at the end of the game, he was too far forward, too close to the center line, which was making it difficult to arc the shells over the enemy center line into the enemy. And of course, he was out in the open where he could be spotted, whereas he needed to be further back, defending, preferably on the west side of the map where there's plenty of cover. You have to think about cover because you don't really want to get taken out by the enemy. Anyway, let's have a look at the team score and see how he did. Well, definitely got the highest damage in the game with 2,964. The next highest scorer was the 88 on the enemy team with 2,249. And the third highest damage went to the Death Toaster that he took out. He got 1,812. When it came to kills, the highest scorer was Legionary2099. He got 4 kills in that one. 3 kills went to the M10 RBFM on his own team, and 3 members of the enemy team managed 3 kills apiece. The 88, the M10 Wolverine, and also the Death Toaster, the Panzer Selbstfeuerwaffe 4C. And when it came to base XP, it's the enemy team who comes out on top. The 88 managed 1,220, which is very good for a British tank destroyer. He's the only player to get over 1,000. 779 went to the Death Toaster, and then it's Legionary who managed to get 755. So he's third place on base XP in this game, performing better than the AMX ELC. And it was a very nice shot that he did to take out that ELC as he got close. He fired 42 rounds, so he actually only had 8 rounds left in the magazine at the end of the game, and all of them were heat rounds. Again, I'd say wrong mix. You need to have fewer heat rounds, much more HE rounds, and you use the heat rounds whenever you come up against something which is very solid and difficult to take down. So if you were over on the west side of the map and you had the heat rounds, you could use those on the 88, and you'd probably get through his armor. If you're having difficulty getting through his armor, you could actually, because you'd have to go for the weak spots, then you could focus all your fire on the KV1 and take him out, and then let your teammates track the 88 and then use the HE on him, because HE will take him down, no problem at all. He got 23 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrations as well, and 20 splash. Let's have a look at the ones that he penetrated. Well, he penetrated the Tiger 131 with one of his heat act rounds, and that worked the first time. He also penetrated the AMX CLC Biz with a heat round and got 374 off him there. That was a high roll. Nice shot into the ELC. He got too close. Of course, he's got no armor, and a heat round will just go straight through him. Although it would have been better if he'd actually taken him out with HE rather than the heat, because of course he couldn't count for the fact the ELC might weave and duck and dive and try and miss the shot. He also managed to get a penetration on the T-34 and also on the Panzer-Selbstfahrwaffe FSC, which also has virtually no armor whatsoever. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 penetrations there, and I think it was 4, wasn't it? Yes, it was 4. He also did 2,964 hit points of damage, of which 2,590 were at more than 300 meters, so some of the damage was done at very close range. He received 2 hits, both of them were penetrations, and also 2 hits by way of splash damage. The one that killed him was the Wolverine, the M10, but he also received damage from a T-34 as well, who managed to spot him. And of course, he was fired at by the Arty twice, and they both managed to get shots. Both shots managed to do some damage. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 257 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 38,243 credits from the game, 31,720 from personal reserves, 4,050 for the Achievements Award. That's for getting an Epic or Battle Hero medal in a losing or drawn game. In this one, he got a Battle Hero medal in the terms of the high caliber. And of course, he got a Gauss medal, which of course is an Epic medal. 95,160 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he still made a profit of 38,579 credits. 755 XP, 424 for the achievements, 1,769 from personal reserves, and 708 for this being a premium vehicle. Took away 4,246 experience points altogether. I think Legionary needs to watch quite a few of the Fifi games that we play on What Arty Noobs. And my chief assistant, or rather the way I would try to improve his game would be to say, try and select a specific target to aim at and go for that one and focus on them to get rid of them. If you can't get rid of them straight away, don't keep flittering all over the battlefield to try and hit other targets, because it means you have to dial in again on the target. And when you're fully dialed in the Fifi, that's when you get the results. But if you keep moving and changing your aim and changing your target, that wastes a lot of time in dialing in when you're not actually on target. And there was one moment where you were fully dialed in on the KV2, and I'm pretty certain he was still there because he wasn't able to move, and you actually went for a different target, the Firefly, and by the time you'd actually fired at the Firefly and missed, the KV2 was able to repair and pull away. Plus, of course, you lost track of where the KV2 was. That's where it does help sometimes. If you're firing at a target which suddenly becomes unspotted, you can then highlight the ground with the T key, and that tells you where you think the enemy last was when he was last seen, and you just keep firing at that spot until, of course, you just get an explosion on the ground rather than actually killing them. These are all little tricks and bits of advice that I can give you, which will help improve your game. A lot of the members of What Arty Noobs, far better players than I am, and I'm sure they will have other tips and tricks for you that will help you improve your game, but you're certainly on the right track. If this is the best you've had so far in the Fifi, I can tell you, you will definitely improve. You will definitely get better games than this, and you will get games possibly even with Radley Waters. It has been done. We do get them. In fact, we've seen somebody get Pools medals and even Kolobanovs with the Fifi. So if you get as good as some of the other members, I think that's what you're going to be doing next. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.